The Clay County Sheriff's Office, the FBI, and the Florida Department of Law Enforcement conducted a search for evidence in which a suspect has been arrested and charged with 29 counts of possession of child pornography that occurred in Clay County recently. That suspect is identified as Jared Harrell, 24 years of age, who formerly resided at that residence. We are also naming Harrell as a person of interest in connection with the abduction and murder of Summer Thompson.
That was Clay County Sheriff Rick Bessler just a few moments ago. Groundbreaking developments in the search for Little Summer's killer. Police have arrested a 24-year-old man named Jared Harrell on 29 counts of child pornography. Today, police are scouring a single-story brick house just about a block away from where Little Summer disappeared. It's the home that this guy lives in, his family lives in. FBI agents digging up the front yard, going into the house to collect evidence. Phone lines lighting up. Judy, Virginia, your question or thought, ma'am?
Jane, I honestly think that the only way that they're going to ever put a stop to these animals that are brutalizing and raping and killing these innocent children is to start castrating every single one of them.
Well, you know, I have to tell you, first of all, I never blame animals. Animals are innocent, helpless creatures. It's the human beings that are the problem. Human beings have the capacity to make a decision. Okay, they're not just guided by instinct. They have intellect that should allow them to make decisions. They are supposed to have values. They are supposed to have ethics. They are supposed to be raised to know the difference between right and wrong. You know, we have all these powers, these mental powers, and yet it seems so many people have descended into sort of this toxicity of evil where their cravings, their sexual cravings, outweigh any sense of morality. Dr. Dale Archer, take a look at this person of interest face. What does this face, if you can see it, tell you?
Well, I mean, I think that from looking at him, the important point to make is that the sexual predator out there can look like anybody. And we can't stereotype them by looks because they can be looking like an accountant, they can look like a student, they can look like a criminal. Any of the above can carry out these heinous acts. And I think the important message for all of parents out there and their children is that you cannot trust anyone.
Well, that's sad. It's a really sad world that we live in, where the conclusion that we have to reach to be good parents is you can't trust anyone. It's sad, but it's true. Ryan Duffy, WTLV reporter, you're on the scene. You were there for the news conference. Put all this information we're getting into perspective. Connect this person of interest with this house. What do you know?
Well, Jade, I am reading through this report here that Sheriff Rick Bessler did just hand out when he wrapped up his news conference. This was the first time today the Sheriff's Office did give any information as to what's been going on out there in Summers neighborhood all throughout the day with deputies out there, the FBI also out there. And he told us he wouldn't really be talking to the media unless there were some major developments. And this is a pretty major development. What he told us, this man arrested at a house on Gano Avenue that they were searching, 29 counts of possession of child pornography. And that man had lived at that house, and then he was arrested in Meridian, Mississippi. So that is a pretty significant development here, of course, held on $1 million bond. We're told he's in federal custody right now. And we are out here at the Orange Park substation where this news conference just wrapped up.
Now,
just a
let me ask you this question.
Yeah. Okay.
How far is the house they were searching from where Little Summer was last seen?
I'm told it is just about a block west.
That is fascinating to me, John Lusich, because that means that on the day that she went missing, cops were undoubtedly milling about right in front of this house. And yet it took them And I think they did great work on this, don't get me wrong. But it just shows you how hard it is. It's always like finding a needle in this haystack.
Absolutely, especially when that haystack is going to be a landfill. These cops did an excellent job. This guy was probably watching her on a daily basis and just waiting for the time when this little girl was alone. She had an argument with her sister. She went running off, and it just made that opportunity where this predator pounced on her. The one thing I want to get across to your listeners, Jane, is that every expert that I talk to actually says you can't cure these guys. These guys are driven beyond their instincts, and there's no curing them. The only thing you could do is lock them away forever, because if you don't, this is what's going to happen time and time again.
But I'd be interested at 24, what kind of a record does he have, if any? We'll learn more. Fantastic panel. Stay right where you are. We're going to have so much more on the breaking news coming down as we speak. Have